what's up, and welcome back. Today we are doing our review of The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 6, titled Chapter 22. A lot of things I liked about this, a lot of things I loved about this. At the very, very beginning, right, the ship's flying through, I thought to myself, wow, the graphics don't look that good. As the show went on, I changed my mind. Um, where do I start? Let's skip the beginning portions a little bit. Yo, and spoiler alert, by the way, Jack Black in Star Wars, dog? I thought he did good. I liked his character, and it was a new character. So he was able to make it his own, and I like what he did with that. Um, that's a plus. That whole planet they were on, right? Where you have the people, they're so rich and they live such a comfortable, luxurious lifestyle. They don't even have to work, right? And their life is so good, they would rather have rogue droids running around everywhere, rogue battle droids running around doing whatever they want. And they voted against getting rid of them. You know what I mean? That's how good their life is. But anyways, that planet they were on, there was a lot of cool stuff I liked about it. I liked the colors, like the color palette they used, the lighting. I like that. Um, when they first got there, and they're like, "Yeah, we're a direct democracy. Why don't you've been invited to come over here, assuming control of your vehicle?" It was like, wait, how is it a democracy? You got a choice, but they don't have a choice. They have to go there. You're gonna fly their ship there without their consent. Um, but that was cool. And then you get there, and it's like, yeah. So he used to work for the Empire, and then when after he rebuilt this place and reprogrammed the droids, my family's been royalty since people have existed here, and we got married. Da da da. And then she's like, we have a droid problem because there's something wrong with the code. He's like, there wasn't anything wrong with their code. I personally oversaw it. And she's like, anyways, what was I looking at? Um, but yeah, I like Jack Black's character. I liked the setting we were in for most of the episode. When they first get there and they hop in that little tube thing and boom, right, and they go through the tunnel, and this is something little with like the green lights flashing by. I liked that effect. I thought the colors were good there, and Star Wars is starting to look more Star Wars, and that actually reminds me. And going back to actually the thumbnail they used, this captain they had at the beginning, right? It was cool at the beginning, right? She's in the tube. I thought she was like a prisoner or something, and I was like, dang, dude, they're torturing her. That she only gets one goldfish to eat, right? But then you realize she's the captain, right? And she's choosing to be in water. We knew she was an aquatic type, an aquatic inspired alien design, right? So we figured, and I'm sure there's other legends lore that goes into this, but their home world is probably a water world, and they might live and breathe underwater as well. Anyways, but up until this point in at least live action Star Wars, we haven't seen something to this extent and degree where it's like it's so alien. But then also at the same time, when homeboy runs in, no, I won't go, I want to stay, I love you, this is real, is that all we were to you? I just can't right now, right? But anyways, right, when homeboy loves in, and you're getting like a real love story, even though it's two aliens. And I found myself thinking like, I guess they would be attractive to somebody, right? you know and right, but as the show's going on, like, you see two aliens there, and it kind of goes to, now it could have been done better, right? But I see what they were trying to do, right? Trying to personify and give you a human element, like you're watching two regular human actors and you can relate to their love story. You're doing that with two aliens here, right? And they were trying to do that and display that. I thought that was cool, and I appreciate the attempt. I could respect the attempt and the thought that went into it, and I like the set design, and I like the general scenario going on. Um, I'm actually gonna try to keep this one short because in the past, this thing was like an hour long, the one I did for episode 5, and I never posted it because it actually was an hour and 40 minutes. So, and trying to render it, it was taking too long. I got tired. So, I canceled the render. But, like with the edit and all that. But, anyways, so I thought that scene was cool. I told you I liked the planet. I like Jack Black's character. He did good. Um, when we started out and we cut to the Mandalorians, right? Then they show up to meet at the beginning of the episode when they show up to meet the the two alien lovers, right? And we see this new guy there. And at first, I started freaking out. I'm like, wait a minute, is this a new clan we've never seen before? Da da da. I don't recognize this guy, right? And then it panned out, and they're talking. And then when he sends the Mandalorians to go to the ship and get the guy, that's when I recognize a homegirl with the braids sitting next to him. And I was like, oh, she used to roll a Bo-Katan. And then later, I watch an episode, you realize eventually, oh, they all used to roll a Bo-Katan. Right? And I was really thinking, I was like, dang, dude, there's so many Mandalorians in this spot, even compared to Din Djarin's coven, right? And they have so many ships and big ships, dude. Like, I'm wondering for the future. So now you have the majority of the Mandalorians, assuming they come, but they will because she has the Darksaber, so they have to. They have to come now. They don't have a choice, right? But anyways, I wonder what kind of issues it's going to cause to where now they're basically going to, what's it called, Xanarkin? The place where the Mandos moved to last episode? Navarro, right? They're going there and basically to Din Djarin's coven's home, where they walk the way. They wear the helmet, right? They do all these things that these guys, the Night Owls, I'm assuming they're all Night Owls, right? Maybe some of them are other ones. What's the Protectors, Deathstroke, right? But anyways, right? So maybe it's a mix of all three. Maybe they're all together. Maybe all of them are just Night Owls. I don't know the signs, the ingots yet, the emblems. I'm on the other shoulder. Right? But they're going to the coven of Din Djarin's people, and they're not going to be wearing their helmets or walking away. I wonder if that's going to cause issues and tension between them. But as we've seen so far, and I commented on this in my reaction, even Homeboy that had beef with Bo-Katan, X-Reeds, right? X-Reeds, something like that. Right? Once he realized, like, well, yeah, if that happened, yeah, it is hers now, right? He changed instantly. He stood at attention. He announced it. It's yours. You got it, right? Because even though they don't walk the way, you've noticed between all Mandalorian groups we've seen so far, whatever rules that coven of Mandalorians believes in, they stick to absolutely. So even though he had beef with Bo-Katan, even though he was talking all this smack, even though he wanted to fight her, he was itching to fight her, right? Even though it was like, well, you did win the Darksaber, so you're the boss. Just instant turnaround, and I think that's really indicative of their culture as a whole, even though different covens have different beliefs, right? And now that they believe we follow the one with the Darksaber, Din Djarin's coven has already accepted Bo-Katan as one of theirs. Now she also has the Darksaber, right? And eventually they're all going to realize she saw the Mythosaur. I still think she's going to tame it at some point, even if she's just giving it commands and not writing it. Right? You know what I mean? It's safe to assume that she's going to end up leading all the Mandalorians. And now they have an ally with this other planet we saw in this episode, right? The ones where the people were so rich, right? Blah, blah, blah. We're not going to go into that again. But anyways, they have an ally. Right? They have an ally. So, and they said, we will recognize you as your own planet, as your own nation, as your own people. We will even recommend that other places recognize you. Right? And, they got a bunch of money. They're living a good life, and they're going to spend that money to stay safe because their constitution says they can't have an army live there. They can't have an army. Right? So, good stuff. Good stuff. And things are connected. We didn't go back to the spy character. We didn't revisit what happened to the doctor. Maybe he's never coming back. Grogu didn't do a lot, but he had a couple cool sayings. He did a little flip across the table. Din Djarin goes, he doesn't take lightly to strangers. And then she pulls out a fish, and Yoda's like, wee! Grogu, I said Yoda. right? You know, he flips across the way, and then so he's hanging out with the queen the whole trip. We barely see him. We do see him though. They're playing this game, and Grogu's over here behind the scenes, like moving the. It's not even a ball. It's like a snail alien, a roly poly that they toss as a ball, and then it crawls back to them to go again. You know, but Yoda's over here like manipulating it through the force, so it hits every target. It perfectly bounces off of every. Those were the slugs, but they look like bouncies. It perfectly bounced off into the next target. Yeah, it was cool or whatever. Then at the end, it was cool. Baby Grogu, you know, he waves back. He waves bye, bye. My camera's super close, but like you know, he waves bye. That was kind of cool for Grogu. And then now for the big part, we really want to talk about. So the reason why Din Djarin and Bo-Katan are there at all in the first place. First off, rewind. Bo-Katan, dog, when they arrived at this planet, I was looking at their ship and I thought to myself, that is a nice ship. The interior on that thing, it's spacious. You got room, it's luxurious. You got nice windows with the cool modern slant. You know what I mean? You got a view, right? It was a luxury craft on the inside almost. Except the seats weren't silk. You know what I mean? But then I thought about it, I was like, wait, that like it's the class of ship it is. It's a transport vehicle. It should not be that nice in there. And it was. And then you have to realize, no, she is the princess. You know, like she's gonna have the best things. Right? Even after all the ships they got, you saw they have a big ass fleet. Out of all the fleet, all the ships they got, you know, she's gonna pick out her favorite one and be like, that's mine. That one is mine. This is ours. This is the fleet. But this one, this is mine. You know? And she got good taste. You know what I mean? Because I thought that ship was nice. So anyways, the reason why they're at this planet is to find other Mandalorians and bring them together. So on their way there, you know, Din Djarin asks Bo-Katan, hey, so what are you going to do when you get there? What's the plan? She's like, I'll figure it out when I get there. I was like, all right, okay. Let's okay. So then they get there, you know, Exaries, he's talking all this smack, whoop-de-whoop, and then she goes, huh, I challenge you. But also at the same time, it wasn't like, he's like, what? Did you challenge me? No. He was like, he jumped up so fast, he was like, all right, let's go. I've been waiting for this moment. And that's why I say, like, he was just itching for that fight. So they go, they have a fight, and I did not expect this. I thought that they were going to walk ceremoniously into like a fight pit or like a circle or something. I thought it was going to be an event or some sort. Nope. Almost instantly, he says, jeep, jeep, shoots his rocket at it. Barely, like, she dodges it. They're going at it. Boop, boop, exchanging blows. You know, all this stuff. And there's this one scene in there where he turns, right? He's currently the leader of these Mandalorians that are here on this planet, right? He turns, shoots another rocket at Bo-Katan. She dodges it, and you see this rocket just going into like a line of his own Mandos. And I'm just like, dude, you're just going to shoot recklessly at your own people? You know, of course they dodge it, and it blows up on the wall behind them, but still, dog. Still, man. So I thought it was a cool fight. There's a scene they end up on top of one of the ships. They're going at it. He had a lot of good hits, but he gets a hit off, and it's like, it looks like he's about to knock her off the ship. She's like falling, but then she shoots out her little rope, her grapple rope, and I thought she hit the wing, but no, she grappled him, pulled him down, used him as a counterweight with her jetpack to swing up, grab him, then she dropped on him and had the knife on him again. Right? So he loses the fight. So technically, you know, she won the challenge. She should be able to lead. But, you know, he calls her out a card. He says, only the one with the saber can lead us. And he has the saber. And then Din Djarin's like, you're right. I have the saber. But it's hers. And then she's like, look, dude, I know you're trying to help. That's really nice. But like I told you before, you can't. It's not a gift. You can't just give it to someone. And then he goes, no. It's yours. And he goes and tells them while exploring Mandalore. Did they know Mandalore was explorable? Because Bo-Katan didn't. Or maybe she did. I don't know. Anyways, right? He's exploring Mandalore. And he's telling them, he gets captured. She rescues him and defeats the guy that defeated him, that caught him. And he said, so doesn't this belong to her now? And everyone's quiet. What? Huh? Did this really happen? What? Huh? And then he repeats himself, doesn't this belong to her? And homeboy that was so ready to fight her, that was like, you're not welcome back, I'm the boss now and I like it, I'm getting used to it. Right? He stands up straight, he comes to attention, says, yeah, it belongs to her now. And then it cuts to her homegirls that ditched her also, which they should have stuck around. I think they're, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to me why they left, because they seemed like more than just people in the clan. They seem like her best friends. You don't just leave her because, oh, well, you don't have the sword, so bye. You know what I mean? They seem closer than that. But anyways, they're smiling, they're chanting like, yeah, Bo-Katan, you're back, yeah, we never gave up on you, thinking all that stuff. But that was cool. And then I think we got like a cool shot of her when she was leaving, where she's standing there, ignites the dark saber. And I said this on, I think, the last video I posted for episode 4, where I said I predicted this. It hasn't even happened yet, but now it's obvious that it's happening. But at the time, it wasn't so obvious. I predicted that she's not gonna have. She doesn't care about leading anymore, and she's not gonna have to prove that she deserves to lead anymore. What I had said was that through her deeds and her efforts, they're gonna end up choosing her to lead them. So we were watching that from her interaction with Din Djarin's clan, where that seemed to be the case. She was the battle leader a bunch of times, and other things that she did, and she led the mission, right? That's the same thing, battle leader, to rescue Homeboy's Gatling's son, right? So it already looked like she was kind of, without even trying to, building credit with them and respect with them, and without even trying to, like, they were like, hey, you should lead us, you know. And then the last episode, the armorer's like, take your helmet off. She thought it was a trick. She said, take your helmet off. You trust my position? Yeah, okay, take it off. And then they walk outside together, and the armorer tells them she's gonna find the other Mandos. She walks both paths, blah blah blah, right? You know, she's giving her a lot of responsibility to next unite Mandalore. And she, you know, she believes, she's always believed the mythosaur is real, but now she actually believes that Bo-Katan saw the mythosaur, right? So if the armor is still kind of the boss of Din Djarin's clan, even though Din Djarin had the Darksaber for a while, and these guys are super old school, but maybe they predate the Darksaber, so that role is irrelevant to them, possibly. But yeah, so once this armorer accepts Bo-Katan, the rest of that clan's gonna accept him. Bo-Katan with her people, we'll call them her people, though they're all Mandalorians, with the Night Owls, right? With them, and by the way, she still saved that patch on one of her shoulders. But when she beat the leader, the new leader of the Night Owls, guess which shoulder was displayed? The Mythosaur. I bet New Rockstars and everyone else that reports on this stuff, they're going to comment on that in their breakdown, because it has meaning. It was very purposeful that the Mythosaur is what's shown when she won, and not the Night Owl, even though they were all Night Owls, right? Because she's now dropping the emblems of the individual clans and representing the emblem that represents all Mandalorians. And her mission is to bring together all Mandalorians. And what I was getting at with my theory is she's going to end up being chosen to lead all Mandalorians. So beating him, she showed the Mythosaur emblem on that side. So that was meaningful on that. And she still has the Night Owl emblem, because truthfully that's where she came from. You know, it makes sense that she would still want to wear it, even though this is her new mission. And as we've kind of seen in the show, she tends to favor her right side. I'd assume she's right-handed, even though she's dual blasting with 2 blasters, right? So you could say, oh, she's ambidextrous. But you know what I mean? When she beat the homeboy that planted the droid program, it was her right arm again, right? She appears to be right-handed, or favor her right side. Maybe it means something specifically if an emblem's on the right or the left, right? I don't know that much, but her mythosaur is on our right side, and it gets the shot most of the time. And this time, in beating him, I think it also signified that she also overcame her past and that she's become a new person, right? As she defeated a night owl and showcased the mythosaur. The mythosaur again represents all Mandalorians, while the night owl represents only the night owls, etc. You know what I mean? So now she's representing all Mandalorians already. But she came from a night owl. She was a night owl. In fact, when she turns like this, the mythosaur is ahead of her and the night owl's behind her. She's past that, you know, while actively on a mission to unite all of Mandalore, that mythosaur. So I think it's connected. I think that was intentional, and I like that they put that in there. Let's rewind the episode a bit. When they're in the junkyard and the ching, 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 the battle droids are walking out carrying the boxes, and Din Djarin is just kicking them, right? So the little battle droid that's talking to them, hey, this is a restricted area. You can't be here. So he goes in. Dude, if you look, he got his hands resting on his hip. Right? I thought that was very, I thought that was a strong personification, right, through demonstration. And it's animated, so somebody had to intentionally do that. And I thought that was nice. It was very humanizing of the droid, you know? And then also on that note, the bar scene with the droids, that was sick. So when they walked in there, all the droids like speechless, jaw dropped, staring at the door, didn't know what to do, right? I thought we were going to get a turn to where the bartender goes, hey, we don't serve your kind here. Like that one dude did to C-3PO in Star Wars A New Hope. But they didn't do that. And, you know, Bo-Katan's talking all sweet, being all cute with them, and the droid's not really opening up. So then Din Djarin goes full interrogator mode and goes, listen here. I could rip your memory core out and dissect it later. Or you could tell us. And then, you know, Bo-Katan and Din Djarin, they turn away to have their little side talk. And, you know, the droid's right there and he's listening. And then when he acknowledges, perhaps I can help. Right, Din goes, oh, do you need your hearing sensors adjusted too? I thought that was funny. But, you know, the droids are all like, look, dude, we want to help you stop these rogue droids because here's what happens. If there's more rogue droids and more problems, people are going to want to get rid of us. And some of us are really old. We'll get scrapped. We'll get destroyed. We'll get forgotten. You know, we don't want that. Like, we like this place. The people, they don't ask that much of us. And they don't live that long. You know what I'm saying? He's like, they don't live that long. People have short lives compared to a droid. Look how long R2-D2 has lived. With full mobility, you know? On top of that. So droids live a long time. What was that one droid they found in the Rise of Skywalker on the spaceship? Droids live a long time, a lot longer than people. So that wasn't a stab at people. And he's like, when you consider that, people don't really ask that much, and people created us. We don't mind serving them. We would rather continue to serve them than get scrapped. Right? So, interesting parallels to religion, by the way. I like it in a good way. But yeah, so, you know, the droid's like, we'll help you. So they, you know, they're investigating the clues as to why the droids are acting up. They go to the lab. Then you have Laser Droid going crazy and stuff, which is cool. Oh, the machine they put the sample in that spun around, that's called a centrifuge. I fix those for work. Like, that's my job, to fix those. Among other things, of course, but there are a lot of those, and I do those a lot. It's very similar to how your dryer works as well. Though a lot of centrifuges are refrigerated and dryers tend to be heated. But anyways, I digress. Indubitably. Yeah, the droids were cool. This episode was cool. I liked, don't remember anything I didn't like except for the opening graphics, but they made up for that through the episode, especially in the chase scene where Din and Bo-Katan are running after the rogue battle droid. So I thought that was nice. That was cool. But yeah, those are my thoughts. If I had to rate this episode, I would give it a 4 out of 5. I still think chapter 4 or chapter 20, the Foundling, I still prefer that one, but this episode was nice. This one was cool. I would say it was a better episode than the pirate, though the pirate had a lot of cool moments. Um, I think as far as impact on the story, I feel like chapter 22 on the greater story has more impact because now Bo Katan, one, has the dark saber now. Bo Katan has her fleet back. And there were a lot of Mandalorians at that camp, so there's about to be a whole lot more Mandalorians. A lot of Mandalorians, a lot of ships. Bo Katan got the dark saber, and Mandalore, as a future planet and nation, has an ally now in this new planet, right? I feel like these, mainly those first three factors, Bo Katan having the sword, her having her fleet back, and now the Night Owls rejoining a large clan of Mandalorians following Bo Katan, and by extension joining Din Djarin's coven, who already respect her, but now she also has the dark saber, right? I think things are going to change a lot. I feel like that had more impact on the story opposed to the pirate. However, the episode of the pirate set some groundwork for the future story, and now the Mandalorians have a place, a planet on Navarro where they could live openly above ground with space to move and work and don't have to do all this extra stuff. They could park their ships. They got somewhere to put the fleet, you know? So that was cool. So the pirate did some stuff like that, and it was cool seeing the Mandalorian swoop into battle. But overall, I think chapter 22 was. I probably liked this episode more than the pirate, more than last episode's. So since I didn't do last episode's review, I'll rate that now. Still as a 4 out of 5. And this one, while I'm still giving it a 4 out of 5, I would say I personally like it more. But the Foundling is still my favorite episode so far, with the 4.5 out of 5. Or was it the Convert? I'll have to check my YouTube videos. But the last review I posted before this, I gave a star rating. So, anyways, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this segment, and catch you on the flip. Peace.
Whoa, whoa, let's dance in the moonlight. Whoa, whoa, no hands, I'm a bull like. Whoa, whoa, red roses in my mouth.